Let's have legends versus legends.
Oh boy.
Let's not do the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson age difference.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's do like Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield in like 2012.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the type of thing we're going for.
Yeah.
Dude, who the hell is going to fight Yoel Romero? You know,
I mean,
did you see the
my
poor
God.
savage that fought him in bare knuckle? That guy was some slap fight.
I immediately felt bad for Rogan Shogun because he's great.
Holy shit. What are you, Joe Biden?
Shut up, dude.
Holy fuck.
Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Today, Junior.
I got excited because I felt bad for Shogun. Like Yoel Romero still has all that explosive energy.
The best of this, what me and Rogue were talking about, is when he fought that dude from Slap Fight League in bare knuckle. And you can tell, Yoel starts off slow and then he explodes and he's there. And then he jumps in the air and you can tell the guy that's the minute he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
I'm fighting Spider-Man.
He's probably 60 in Cuban years. When he jumped in the air like an alien, that you can just see the guy's face like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude.
First of all,
and you have
specimen.
And you're fighting bare
Who
knuckle.
made that matchup? Who made that ridiculous matchup?
Someone who likes violence.
I mean, God, stop it right now. I mean, maybe if 3 guys like that were in there against him.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. But
we're in this world of like popularity, right? Like, why did Tyson versus Paul crush
Biggest
all
numbers
of the
ever.
numbers and all of the views?
Why is Jake Paul even in talks with fighting Canelo? It's all views.
Yeah.
It's just that's what it is. But I think too, even what you guys are doing, like, when we were doing the draft and we had Tony on live, like my whole thing was like, what's your why? Like, what's the why here, dude? Like, you've been through some wars. You're a legend. At one time, I would argue he's the best 155er walking the planet. Even when Khabib was in his prime, I would have picked him over Khabib. Obviously, that never came to fruition. But it's like, what's the why? Then when you hear him, you're like, all right, I'm in. I'm fucking in, dude.
Well, like the fans have spoken. Like, they want to see Tony fight.
Yes.
And like, let's be polarizing. Like, love us or hate us, right? Like, if you're talking about this, fantastic. If it was just crickets, we got a bit of a problem.
Have you had some names that surprise you, Call? Being like, hey, man, I'm interested once my deal's up.
Everybody came to the table. Like, it was, all of them were at first somewhat surprising. Like, like Holly Holm, didn't expect her to be available.
Do you know this piece? She got out of her. She still had, I think, 2 fights or 1 fight on her contract.
2 fights left.
Asked to get released to sign with GFL.
And they released her.
Yeah, because again, and I think why it works for Darren is he's not saying we're better than the UFC. UFC, get ready, like all these other. No, like, hey man, we're just trying to do our thing, and Darren's like, yeah, cool. Holly, you're out. Go ahead, go over there.
Great.
Which is unheard of.
And like, it's great for them where it's like, hey, like, it shows that they can build these athletes into superstars.
So can you.
100%.
Yeah.
But for them, it's like we've done that. We've built this person. Now they can go somewhere else and earn. And we all know where the best fighters on the world are currently fighting. That's not a secret to anybody. And we're not trying to say we're trying to have the best, or like, I don't go to what I think another promotion did was, let's go look at the rankings and just get the highest ranked fighters. The rankings I want to look at, it's how popular, how many fans do you have?
Right. How'd
Because
you get
that
into
directly
this?
generates.
But hold on, real quick, before we go there with them. When you see a free agent like Aaron Pico, who's a big fish,
Yeah, I tried to get him before
it got announced.
Before the draft. So like, other promotions aren't. Some of them feel very threatened from what we're doing, and I think other ones should. And
Others should for sure. UFC's
the amount that have come out of where they were over to this because they want to. Because number one, we'll treat them with respect, and like, this is my world of the fight world, MMA. Like, I know this business. I know how to talk to these guys. I know how to treat them. I know what they want. I know what they need. So just putting in those solutions from the beginning it's resonating with everybody, and everyone's getting behind this. And they're like, we all want this to work. We all want this to be successful.
I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're a fight fan, it's like, why wouldn't you want it to work? But with Aaron Pico was the talks with him, is he, because it's not a knock, but like as a diet, like you cut my veins, fucking Bob O'Reilly comes out, right? Like I fucking bleed UFC. So I've always, and I worked Aaron Pico's, his biggest fight when he fought at Madison Square Garden. I was on the commentating team there, and I was like, he's our LeBron James. He's a blue chip recruit this is his moment, and then inexperienced shoots in, gets guillotine choked in like a minute. You're like, okay, well, that's not good. But then obviously he's back on the winning side now. He has experience. The kid's checks all the boxes. For him, I'm assuming for him, he's like, I like what you guys are doing, but I want to test myself in the UFC since he's still young.
For sure.
That's what I assume.
And some are like that. And it's how many fighters' dream for the longest time has always been, I want to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
99% of them.
Yeah.
So
It's the 18.
and and I'm in touch with reality. I wouldn't hold it against anyone to try to go to the biggest promotion in the world and test yourself on that level.
Yeah, it's almost
the
like you
same
don't
with,
need to speak
same
about
thing
the
with
UFC.
Pitbull.
It's almost like you're creating an intriguing team-like competition with guys who have done a lot in the sport and some who haven't and are just starting out. So
It's inspiring to see them.
Yeah.
There was a fighter that walked into one of the gyms that was on a different team. They're like, yo, man, you got to get out of here. Like, you're not part of this team. And I was just like, whoa, like those
Love it.
conversations are happening.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like I
that
kinda
drama
like that.
is important to capture. Are you guys
Storylines.
Because you've always talked about storylines.
All
and how
storylines.
important it is, right? And how important it is to do that, sort of like follow the fighters and see what they're dealing with.
Tell me, Dan. You watch Netflix, right?
Yes.
They tell stories, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, so we literally signed with the #1 sports content creator, storytellers on the planet.
Wow.
Box to Box Films. They do like Formula One, Drive to Survive, Sprint, Full Swing, Point Break,
Seen 'em all.
Senna,
Yeah.
Rugby Sevens. Like
Wow.
they just
You've
did an
signed with those
NHL
guys.
on Amazon. I'm getting the best in class for everything we're doing to showcase these athletes like no one's ever done.
Dude.
And like, why did the UFC blow up? Ultimate Fighter reality show. Once you kind of got an
People cared.
insight into
People
these
cared.
fighters' lives,
So true.
People
and
care.
you got that emotional investment of like, oh, I like watching. Insert any one of those.
Well, think
big
about the story.
names.
Think about the stories of guys who are still fighting, who need to, or you like. So why did Rocky 3, 4, 5, and 6? It's like you want to see these guys who are kind of like they're trying one last time to get something they didn't get done.
That's
Well,
the
it's
Tony
like-
Ferguson story. When you hear him talk, and I was very adamant about him not fighting.
Yeah.
And
What
I
did
said
he
this in the
say?
meetings. I was like, dude, I don't condone him fighting. But and then they're like, well, just talk to him and bring up your concerns. And then we talked, and you hear him talk about like his passion, starting wrestling as a kid. Now he's on a team, and he still has more left to do. Now I'm not saying he's gonna have a 10-year run in GFL, but when you hear his story, I just went, off, dude. I'm in, dude. I'm in. How you listen to him talking like I got to see him fight. I want to see him win one. I want to see him go out on top.
And it's like, if Brendan was going to go fight, no matter who he fights, you're watching, I assume.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's fighting the current, if you're fighting Francis Ngannou,
Let's not have
you're
him do that.
watching.
Let's not have him do
If you're
that.
watching
Not today, but
something in the parking lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're going to go watch him fight.
Yes.
So it's that, whether you're Holly Holm, Dylan Dennis, Paige Van Zant,
Yep.
Tony Ferguson, whoever, they have fans.
Yes.
Fans that care about them,
Paige Van
fans that
Zandt
know
fan.
their story.
Yeah.
We were just in New Orleans doing a radio row with Paige and Hanny Goldie, her teammate.
Love it.
And it was, dude, they were like, we could barely even walk around in there. Like,
Superstars.
There's like, I'm like looking at Lawrence Taylor, Joe Montana, Drew Brees, Kittle, like all these, Justin Jefferson. I'm just like, this is a who's who of like, and who are they stopping?
Who would Brendan Schaub fight?
Why you do this, man? What happened? Why you do
What
this?
happened?
We could definitely have some
Yeah,
good
there's some
chop
big
fights.
boys.
Bro, hold on, give us-
Fabricio Verdum.
Get him a smaller guy.
I'm on the outsides, man.
Get him a smaller
No,
guy.
sir.
Well, maybe,
No,
maybe
sir.
the Romero fight. If it
Ooh,
doesn't-
yeah.
No,
Well, no, I don't be like that slap fight guy. No.
Well, Frankie Mir, maybe.
I love Frank. What else you got, Chen?
Who would Brian
Get me outta
Callen
here.
fight?
Elon,
Ryan.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Ooh, I'd watch that.
Yeah. Mark's he's gonna have his hands full. To be honest with
You
you,
guys are the same size.
we're not the same size.
I think
we're
the
not
over-
the
I
same
think-
size.
How much
would
is
be the
how
favorite in that,
much
maybe.
does Zuck weigh?
No,
Chin?
Zuck would not.
He's
be
on
the favorite
TRT
in
now.
that, Darren.
But like,
Zuck would not be the favorite.
Let's get Zuck in to own a team.
Yeah, Zuck should own a team.
100% he should.
But I
he's-
would
he's
fight
balls
Mark
deep in
Zuckerberg.
it.
I would train and fight. I love it's all good.
5'7",
never
you're,
like-
you're 5'11".
These aren't real,
yeah.
but-
Don't ever say that to me, okay? But
figure you guys
I
are
like
similar.
him. Do you?
Elon would be a better size-wise.
No.
Elon's big.
Elon's 6'1".
Tall.
No, Elon's
6'2"
taller
here.
than that. Elon's taller. And he's a big Dutchman. He's a big boy.
Well, he has those like lunch
Elon?
lady hips.
No, Elon's half South African, half Canadian, like myself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you're South African Canadian?
My mom's from South Africa. My dad's from
South
Canada.
Africa.
And then the other way around for him. His mom's from South Africa.
The first thing I said when I saw you was I was like Africa. I thought of Africa.
Most people think that.
You know what I'm saying?
They see the ginger beard and the
Yeah, I was
very
thinking
pale.
African as
You have my
head.
son's coloring. It's great. I love it.